Go back
Hey,
to
Joe here.
normal height. Bryant here.
With the gun shop. And you know what we're talking about today? Knives.
Knives.
Bryant is the in-house knife expert, the guru of knives.
Just a little.
I get kind of lost, but the big question I hear all the time, and I've always bought nice knives.
Sure.
I bought some junk ones in the past. But the big question we always get here at the shop is, why is this one $200 and the one I saw at the gun show was $25?
$20.
I can answer it real quick. But I'm gonna let the guru over here answer it.
Usually it's like how well they're made, right? So you've got, for lack of a better term, crap. And then you've got kind of nicer high-end stuff.
As I'm messing up the mics on them.
You can also get stuff that is super high-end. There's like a point of no return always, but the majority of it is where it's made. So country of origin, if it's made in China or in the garage in China versus the U.S. versus Germany versus Italy, you know. So you have where it's made. That plays a big part of it. The other part is...
Okay, are the cheaper knives coming out of China?
Almost always. Almost always.
Do they make a good knife?
There is some that do. 90% of them are not, no. Some of them are pretty good.
So 90% of them are junk?
Yeah, most.
Okay.
If it doesn't say a big brand on it, and even some of the ones that do, they're junk, usually.
Well, how about I'm not picking on my friends at Kershaw though,
We love
but
the Kershaws.
this is a China Kershaw.
This is a Chinese Kershaw. Things with this would be a good, like, stash utility, I plan on breaking it kind of knife, but it's not going to hold up over
Price
time.
rate for that.
Yeah, they're priced accordingly, right.
Okay,
For
then
somebody
you
that
go
loses a
to
knife every week.
the Leak.
Leak is a U.S.-made knife.
It's got the American flag on there. I have seen these counterfeited
Yep.
like crazy.
You can make copies of those.
If you see them too cheap online, there's a good reason for it.
Probably. With something like this, you jump up in steel. So you're getting Sandvik steel on this one, which is going to hold an edge longer. Now, it's a thin blade on this one, so it's not like a
What kind of
pry bar.
steel is that?
Sandvik's?
You know how to spell it?
No.
Okay, either do I.
I
I
can
can't even say it, let alone spell it.
I know the code on that one, but it make me super nerdy.
But the steel is a huge factor.
Yeah, you start
in all these.
upgrading, so the edge retention, so how often you have to sharpen your knife, or you know how dry you really need to keep it for corrosion and things like that, gets a lot better. You don't have to sharpen it as much.
How many times have you bought a knife out there at a gun show or anywhere, hardware store, and it was as sharp as a razor blade? And a week later,
You can't
yeah, you
cut
can't
your butter with it.
can't cut your butter.
Yeah,
As
butter.
long as you didn't say cut the cheese, I'm okay.
Cut the cheese with it.
But that was one of my problems too. Then you can jump up into
Yeah.
one of our favorites here.
This is our favorite knife, actually. You just happen to do that, but I am carrying mine today. Oh, we are both carrying them today. No big deal.
This is ZT. I'll let you talk about which one it is. And
This one's a 0456. So knives like this, it's technically made by Kershaw. ZT is Kershaw, zero tolerance. But you jump up quite a bit on this one in steel.
it's their higher end Kershaws.
Yes, ZT is like the Cadillac of General Motors. Right, that's
The
it.
Lexus of Toyota.
There you go.
The Infinity of Nissan.
Car analogy for you. But you're
Audi of Volkswagen.
You're jumping up quite a bit in your steel. So that's the first thing. This is CPM 20CV, which is like God's gift to steel, if you will, right? Holds an edge forever. Does not corrode hardly at all. It's tough. It doesn't chip or anything like that. And then you gain a lot of other things like A, build quality. It's made in the U.S. These are on ball bearings. They're flippers, titanium, and everything's anodized.
Yeah, that's not a spring assist knife. So if you live in a state where you're not allowed to own a spring assist knife, you can have one of these. Because like he says, it's all ball bearings in there, and that's why it's so smooth.
Pretty awesome knife. ZTs are our favorite knives. They're one of our favorite companies, but they make a really good knife for the money. Here you're in that like expensive range, but you're not dropping $500-600 on it for full customs. You know, very awesome knives. They tend to get better knife designers making them because that's another part of it too. Is on your nicer knives you get big name designers designing the knives. So little things like the ergonomics or the way it closes and things like that tend to work better.
My thing with it too is when I have a knife, I abuse the you-know-what out of my knives. I use them for just about everything. Besides the screwdriver.
It's a tool.
I give you a story about a screwdriver.
It is definitely. Show yourself. You
I'll
have to
tell
come
you.
into the shop.
A guy asked me one day and he said, hey, does anybody have a knife right at the table at this little car thing? I was like, yeah, I have a knife. And I get to show off now because I'm pulling knives out of everywhere. He goes, oh, let me see that one. And that was my DPX.
Oh, that's an expensive one.
What, $400 or $500?
$400 or $500, yeah.
For that knife, give it to him. Somebody asked for a knife. They're cutting something.
Yeah. You would think.
This guy comes back a few minutes later, he said, that's great, man. That was nice. I said, was it sharp enough for you? He goes, oh, no, I had to tighten down a part on my car.
Oh, God.
And I told him how much the knife was. Oh, that's too expensive. That's ridiculous. So you just used a $400 knife to tighten down a bolt on your frickin' Ferrari, and you're bitching about the price of a knife. I was pissed.
Oh, on a Ferrari?
Yeah.
Well, then that was accordingly then.
That was my knife, not
true.
my car.
You got to get a Ferrari.
No.
Oh. Got to get him to get a nicer knife.
I used to like Ferraris.
Or a
Until I met the people that drive them.
Well, so yeah, essentially that's what you're paying for in these is your materials and your build quality.
Now, let's go to this one.
These are sexy. These, I'll go ahead and start it. This is a company called Heretic or Heretic. Joe's got one too. I actually don't have one yet. I've almost bought one like 3 times. Wife might kill me. Thing with autos is you're paying usually for the fact that it's an auto. Most autos are going to cost you, I mean, like they start, good US made ones start in like the $250 range and go to $5 plus.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, you're usually paying, they're usually going to use better knife designers. So these are Heretic or Heretic, however you pronounce it. Marfione, so the gentleman that does all the high-end microtechs, he designs this and it's his company. It's his son, actually. So they're semi-custom. So they're sprint runs. They're limited edition stuff. You're only getting, I don't know.
Yeah, when he says sprint
1,000
runs, folks, they're only making a certain amount. And
then they discontinue them, yeah. So you get them for however long or however many they decide, and then they get more collectible over time. So you tend to, most of your autos tend to go up in value over time, except for maybe microtechs. They make
and they got cool
productions.
Shock value.
Oh, yeah.
When you pull that out somewhere when they ask for a knife, you get attention.
And they make cool noises.
No, they do.
They're fun to mess with.
Now, these are slicers, not stabbers.
Correct.
When you open them up, they will not puncture anything. They're designed
Poke it in the garbage can.
basically, the blade pops off a track. It's easy to get it back in the track. And they have to make them that way by law.
Disengages it, and then you just pull it back out.
That's good to go. Great knives.
Random garbage can pickup.
I always carry one. All right, let's pick 2 more.
So these are awesome knives. Then you get into...
Let's do... I'm picking these.
All right. You know which ones. I know which one you're going for.
Which one am I going for?
You're going to go for your steampunk.
Besides that, I'm going to go for this one first because I have no idea how to use it. I do. It just doesn't work for me. My finger has issues.
This, other than the ZT, is probably our biggest seller. So this is a karambit. This is a fighting tool.
How do you spell that?
You got to look at the blade. Karambit. Karambit.
By Fox Knives.
By Fox. So Fox is Italian. So these are Italian made. This knife is kind of famous for, it's in a lot of movies.
Is it made by Mario?
Mario and Luigi? It's a Mario. No. It's designed by Doug Marcada and Ernest Emerson.
Isn't that the guy that's on that Forged in Fire?
That is the Forged in Fire guy, yeah.
This will kill.
This will kill. That guy. Yeah. So these designed, you can't even talk. These 2 guys collaborated and helped Fox design this knife as a high-end production folder. So as you deploy the knife out of your pocket, so if it's in your pocket like so, as you pull the knife up, it's going to catch on your pocket and deploy the blade, and you're instantly in a fighting grip. So
it's a cool design.
A very useful defense tool. This would be something I would carry if I was wanting to use a knife to defend myself. I wouldn't use like a ZT. I mean, you could, but...
You could. To me, they're all a tool.
They're all a tool.
But that has one major purpose.
Yeah, one main thing.
Opening up boxes quickly.
You'll see this in a lot of movies and TV shows, this specific karambit. It's very famous. Very cool. And then they got a new version. I'll just quickly show this since we finally are able to get them. The little baby version of it. It's a little smaller, a little lighter, a little different hook on the front here. Same company, still made in Italy. Pretty awesome little guy.
And that's a good steel.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to have to sharpen it after every time you open up a box.
Mm-hmm. But you can do that kind of stuff with these guys. You can, you're not going to like slice an apple with this per se. I guess you could.
I bet you I will.
I wonder what it would be like. You just chop it in half. But it's more of a...
it's a fighting style knife.
Yeah, fighting
defensive.
style. Defensive.
Now, we're going to go to one of my newest to the collection.
Not your baby?
This is the ProTech. Not Microtech, ProTech. So be 1 step above. Or 2 steps.
One to the left, one to the right, and one in front.
That's fine. They only made 300 of these. This is number 125. I think we have 124. Then we get that one 60.
No, it's 49.
49. It's a certain design. I'll put the link below. You can go on the website and check it out.
Coin struck.
What he said.
Hit it with a hammer.
But they only made a couple hundred. You're never going to get them again.
Mm-hmm. Protec's kind of like we were talking about those Heretic knives earlier. They're almost all sprint runs. Like literally everything Protec does is like, other than a few models, it's basically sprint runs of everything. So you only get limited qualities or quantities. You get high quality. They're all U.S. made. They are almost all autos. I don't know if they make a non-auto. Usually side folding, button autos. They usually have pretty good steel. CPM U.S. steel, 154. They're beautiful. You know, this is something for me that I would carry like going to dinner or a nice movie or something. It's my fun knife.
If I'm wearing my brown belt, I'll carry it.
Yeah. He's got to match everything. Yeah, that is cool. You guys can't really see it. Maybe we'll zoom in and give you guys pictures after.
I'll put the link. Yeah, I'll throw some pictures in there. Long story short, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Will the cheap knife get the job done?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Something you're always going to maintain. It is going to break, and you're going to end up going to buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it?
A lot of it's in the assembly, too. So, like, I've gone through the gamut, right? I've got hundreds of cheap knives and tons of expensive knives. But the cheap ones, they tend to not lock up right, or they fall apart quickly. They don't put Loctite on screws, so you lose a random screw, and then all of a sudden you have a piece of crap knife that you can't do anything with.
Yeah, my first switchblades I bought when I was down here at the show. After about a month, I hit the thing and everything popped out of it and broke. And I kept it. I still have it somewhere just to show me why I don't buy that.
Or another thing I've learned that they do, this is just from working on knives all the time here, is the cheap knives, they'll use like really crappy steel when it comes to like screws. And so like the first time you try and tighten your screw, it just strips instantly because they're itty bitty tiny little Torx heads. Yeah. And so you're completely done with the knife. You know, use it for 2 months and then you got to throw it away.
You don't need to spend $400 on a good knife. You can get a really good one for
60, 50
starting about
bucks.
60, 50, 60
You
bucks.
can get a pretty darn good quality knife.
And go from there. Get something that's going to hold up. Find out what you're going to use it for.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it's what the knife talks to you too. Yeah. It's like aesthetics.
To me, it's got to fit my hands right.
Yeah, Joe's a size, and we'll order some that I think he's going to love, and it comes in as too small or too big, and you got to come into the shop, put it in your hand, see if you like it. We order online because we like to, but lots of times you hate it once you get it in your hand.
Yeah,
I've done that a lot.
Then if you buy here and there's a problem with it, or you need to sharpen it,
he's got a real nice $1,000 knife sharpener that I use.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it.
Commandeered it as my own.
But we're out of here. Thanks for staying tuned. We're going to be making some more videos shortly, and we're still working on a series about buying a gun, and we got people coming up to the door. Folks, have a great day. Anything to say, Mario?
Peace. He gets mad at me for saying that, so I say it.